My name is David Jaffe. Welcome to the Wealth and Health Podcast, where you'll learn valuable skills and positive habits that will improve your life. This podcast originally aired as a video on my YouTube channel at youtube.com/beststockstrategy. The Wealth and Health Podcast is brought to you by beststockstrategy.com. All right, we're going to check out a sales call with Noah Beggs from Invest with Corey, and let's see what he has to say. That way, when you're interested in booking one of these sales calls with these closers, you know exactly what to expect.
Doing well. Can you hear me and see me okay?
Yeah, I hear you and I see you.
All right, totally glad we could connect and talk. How's your day been?
It's been good. Not too much going on today. Just pretty light.
I think just curious where you call from.
New York.
New York? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm glad we could connect. I'm in Oregon, so for us it's just been kind of cold and rainy, nothing crazy. Glad we could connect and we could talk today. Working closely with Corey over the last few years, really my goal. Just want to learn a little more about yourself, your current situation with investing and trading, and if we can help, happy to talk a little about Corey and maybe dive into resources. Does this sound okay?
That sounds good to me.
I guess to start, tell me how you found me. How do you come across Corey?
I was looking through some YouTube videos and about investing and options, and Corey came around and clicked on one of his videos and got interested in what he was saying and went onto the website to check it out.
That's how most people find him. On YouTube. How long ago was that when you started really watching him?
About a couple of weeks back. Seen a couple of videos here and there. A couple of lives that he has on there.
Okay, gotcha. So at this point, have you kind of watched a few videos? Do you feel familiar with his mindset and his approach to trading?
Yeah, somewhat. Yeah.
Doing this, right? Obviously, there's a lot of people out there. There's a lot of different approaches to investing or to trading. Obviously, Corey's approach is nothing. He's not looking to triple his account overnight or get rich quick. But what he does focus on is, really safe, really consistent, kind of weekly, monthly.
So you can see here that they have a sales script. And after the introductions, Noah immediately starts going into his pitch. Also, what Noah is talking about is simply not true. Selling aggressive put options is one of the most aggressive trading strategies that you could possibly partake in, because during a volatility expansion event, similar to what we had from late February 2025 to late March 2025, many people ended up blowing up their accounts.
Regardless of good markets or bad markets, he just wants consistency through selling options. Does that sound more the route you're looking to go?
That is the exact option I would like to. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So as far as actually doing this, then, have you been investing and trading for years or so?
Pretty new in options. 1 to 2 years in investing.
So as far as over the last year or two, have you mostly been just buy and hold, or have you been buying options, selling options, day trading? Kind of what's been the approach?
Buying and holding.
Okay. How's everything gone the last year for you? Has this been mostly up or?
A little bit of both, I would say. But basically, you have a good month and it kind of evens out at the end of the year.
Okay, so it's just been kind of break even, ups and downs a little bit.
A little better than even, I would say. Basically, I want to learn more, get more information, and get a good strategy going.
Okay. And so you said it's been ups and downs. How much are you up over the last year, percentage-wise?
I would say about 15-18%.
So you've been able to stay profitable, which is obviously a little below the mark. And I guess for you, kind of what's gone wrong? What's holding you back from keeping up with the market?
I got a very simple strategy going. I would like to get mentored by somebody who has a lot more experience and a lot more knowledge on trading options.
Absolutely. And so for you right now, what is kind of the main goal? Is it just growing the wealth more? Is it consistent monthly income? What's the main thing?
Consistent monthly income sounds very good to me.
So looking to get to the consistency, how much is that kind of first goal? How much do you want to be making each month as you kind of grow this? What's the first goal?
Well, I would really like to make around 3 to 5% a month on my investment.
And for you, what would that amount be? Are you looking at like 3K a month, 5K, 10K? What is the dollar amount?
An extra 7K.
Extra 7K.
Yeah, around there.
Well, at least 7K is very doable.
Okay.
3% to 5% is very many students do much more than that. So I guess for you, what is an extra 7K going to do? Is that it's going to
That's funny because, in my opinion, I believe that many of Corey's followers end up losing money.
And it would help me be able to pay all the bills and, save a little money to the side for a rainy day, pretty much.
Yeah.
Just, take some weight off my shoulders.
Yeah, absolutely. Just kind of free up any potential stress. Never hurts to have a little extra income, pay the bills. Most of our students are making at least a few thousand, many 10K, 20K plus.
Nice.
But of course, you need the confidence, you need the knowledge. It also just comes down to how much capital you're going to be working with. Corey's in a place where he's making 100K a month doing this, but he's also working with 7 figures. So we'll start somewhere.
That's so funny that he's placing Corey on a pedestal and acting like he's successful, because Corey filed with the court as of December 2022 that he had a negative net worth of around $50,000, and he had no brokerage account and didn't own any stocks. So in my opinion, if he is making $100,000 a month, it's probably based on ignorant viewers paying him money. Also, this guy was living with his parents at 40 years of age, and he recently purchased the house in February 2025 in New Jersey for a little bit over $500,000. So for the sales agent to make it seem like Corey has been historically successful, in my opinion, that's a complete lie.
Between those accounts, savings and investments, like how much you have total?
At the moment, my portfolio is around 300K.
So around 300K? Okay, awesome. Is that just in like a personal account, or is that a retirement account?
Personal account.
Okay, perfect. Well, that makes it really easy. Obviously, that capital puts you in a pretty good spot where obviously there's a lot of potential. I mean, even if you're not using all the capital, you're being very conservative. You could easily be making 7K a month. And if you start using more of that, you could pretty easily get to the 15K a month, like many of our students. Because again, that's 5 to 10% pretty realistically. So you're in a good spot.
Again, they're trying to make it seem like many of their students are successful. Think about it realistically. If you're able to make 10% a month consistently on a $300,000 account, you'll be worth over $1 billion within around 20 years. It's just simply not possible. And you're going to learn a very basic strategy that you can learn for free.
You have the capital. I guess, what do you feel like you need help with? Like, what would you actually kind of need from Corey to feel confident, jumping into this and just taking it to the next level?
I would basically like to learn or have a primary strategy for me to make it an extra income for myself on a monthly basis, and strategy I can commit to help me, reach that goal.
Yes. Yes, we're going to get that strategy you can actually commit to and taking safely. It sounds like you need a little more guidance, full mentorship, maybe seeing how Corey finds right companies, right strategies, how to get in, get out, just how to do this safely and consistently.
Right, yeah. That would be nice.
And so as far as right now, I mean, are you, working full time, or what's your current situation?
I'm not working at the moment. Looking for an extra source of income.
Okay. And so are you retired, or kind of what's your current situation there?
At the moment, I am somewhat disabled, so can't really move around too much. I have a broken ankle at the moment. And so, yeah, it's going to be about 4 to 6 months with the cast on.
Makes sense. Yes. Mm-hmm. What were you doing for work before?
I was doing a little bit of everything. I used to buy, fix, and sell cars for a living. I have a small dealership that somebody else is taking care of at the moment. So
Gotcha.
Once the accident happened, kind of thought to myself to start taking investment and trading a little bit more serious. And this is where I find myself, just looking for a mentor and learning strategies or a better strategy to come into.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like you have that extra time now, and I mean, it's a good time to commit to learning something and growing a new business. Like,
Yeah.
as far as this, do you see yourself kind of going back to all that type of work, or are you looking to just kind of transition into something new?
I would like to transition. Yeah, I would like to transition to see where it takes me. And, depending on the results, then I would make that decision.
So what do you feel like you would need coming in each month to just replace kind of the income you used to make so you don't have to stress about bills or anything? What would that need to be right now?
A good 7 to 10K a month.
Okay. So 7 to 10? Yeah, well, I mean, as we already talked about, you'll be using 200K, 3K, I mean, very, very doable goals. So you're in a pretty good spot. Now, as far as this, it sounds like the normal work you would do, you're kind of putting on hold temporarily. So, I mean, I imagine, do you have a good amount of time to kind of spend on learning and trading?
I do.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, and this long term shouldn't be, every day is not day trading, but as Corey talks about, it's only like 3 to 4 hours a week. Mornings, evenings, weekends, you're in a good spot. And it sounds like that's, pretty easy for you, right?
Yeah, I have that time available at the moment.
Awesome. So I'm just curious, like, over the last year, have you pretty much always just done this on your own, or have you been in groups or mentorships in the past?
I've been in a bunch of groups, like some on YouTube, some on Telegram as well. And, it has helped me at times, but a lot of times it's just a bunch of people just, messaging things that don't help as much.
Yeah. Were those like free groups or?
Some paid, some free.
It just sounds like a lot of just kind of chatting. Yeah, that's how a lot of groups can be, especially if just kind of anyone can join. So I guess for you, since you've tried some things in the past, like what made you want to jump more seriously into the actual selling of options now and actually get help? Like kind of what made this important?
I feel like I need more knowledge as far as trading goes. You see a lot of people making these huge amounts of profits on a monthly basis or yearly basis, and kind of gets you thinking to see your potential can be, or where you can go as far as reaching those kind of goals. And basically just looking for extra help, somebody who's as well knowledge on trading and doing options. I feel like option could be very profitable.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate the background. I mean, for what I can tell you, have very realistic goals. It's not get rich overnight. I mean, starting off into that first 7K, very doable. And obviously over time, I don't think it would take that long to even scale up to, 15K, 20K plus. So I'd be happy to share just kind of what Corey's, mentorship and coaching is all about, and we could just go from there.
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. So let me actually share my screen here with your first part. This is the, entire, found. Right, this is literally everything A through Z that he knows about the market, the economy, and just specifically how he sells options. So can you see all this?
I see that, yep.
So in the beginning, he'll dive into like why options, what you need to know about them, strike price, premium, implied volatility. He's also going to talk about stock analysis, right? What are the fundamentals you need to know? But also what are the technicals? Because of course, both are important.
Okay.
They're going to charting, indicators, moving average, RSI, and of course, just how to safely and consistently enter and exit, again, with all the different strategies. He will also talk about, of course, the Greeks, right? The language of options. So delta, gamma, theta, and vega, what these mean. And just more importantly, how do you actually use that data to set up those high probability trades that are mean on 90 to 95% accurate? And that's a big part of the goal. It will also go through covered calls, what to worry about with assignment, which for you, I think, really could be helpful. Also timeframes, like he's not much of a day trader, but he'll talk about weekly, monthly, yearly, just what the sweet spot is. Also how to calculate your returns and advanced ways of exiting. What are the best ways or the best times to actually roll an option? From there, we'll dive into things like, of course, the wheel, the very safe, very simple approach. It'll be one of the main ways you make that first like 10 to 20K a month. Talk about cash your puts, covered calls, how to find the right companies at the right time, and just do this safely and consistently. And then lastly, some of his bread and butter. Talk about like debit spreads, credit spreads, put spreads, and iron condors and leaps, and how these can really increase the gains and just add more and more diversification. So that's kind of the overview in the very first part, the foundation.
What kind of profit potential does he provide?
Sorry, you said what was the profit potential?
Yeah, I mean, what
most of our students make, at least 5 to 10%. Obviously, many making 10% plus. So if you have 300.
That's so funny. Here you have a guy who used to live with his parents at 40 years of age and who had a negative net worth. And now he has a sales agent telling people that they can earn over 10% a month. Where's the FTC when you need them? And probably the FBI and ICE as well, because I've been told by numerous people who are close to Corey that he's in the United States illegally.
Most of our students make, at least 5 to 10%, obviously many making 10% plus. So if you have 300K, then that should be pretty easy. 20, 30.
Okay. How's the training as far as, working with Corey go about? Like, how close to your students is he, or, how?
Because this is a pretty small community. So that's like the first part, right? The foundation. College course filmed from the basics, intermediates, and step by step. Obviously, probably a bigger reason you're on the call is actually for Corey. So this is where he spends most time, where you can talk with him, you some questions, and you can see every single trade he's doing. So can you see?
Yeah, welcome to Corey Circle. Okay.
Sweet. So if you have any questions, any concerns at all, you can always ask Corey. So Corey's here every day. Simple or complicated, you tag him, he'll get back to give you some support. And the cool thing is, because this is a smaller community, only a little 100 members, he wants to know who you are, what your goals are, and you get daily and weekly support to help you be successful like the other students. Besides daily support from Corey and the team, you have live coaching. He gets you live every single week, Mondays and Thursdays. He'll share his screen, and you can see what he's doing. You can follow his trade for your own trades. Starting out for you right now, or are you more looking to kind of see what Corey's doing? Maybe do you just want to build the confidence?
I would like to get the teachings first. So I was wondering if he, does the course himself, or is it mainly, just watch the videos and try to understand everything on your own? Or how does that go about?
Not quite fully understand that question, but it's going to be the thing is self-paced education to study through everything on your own. And then you have Corey questions and follow his trades. And so the way he sets it up, it's a bit of both. Like, he knows, even I have the full confidence, seeing how he's managing his millions. You can follow sure you're making the least effort.
I think you said see how he's managing his millions, which doesn't make any sense. Again, as of December 2022, Corey had a negative net worth. So any money that he currently has is probably been given to him by viewers of his YouTube channel.
And then from there, you can do more and more on your own. And that's the ultimate goal. So he's fully transparent, shares everything. All the trades will be posted in the chat. He usually does at least 10 to 15 trades per week. Whether there's something like Tesla, buy Palantir, whatever he's doing, he'll share how he's made so much money over the last few weeks. So Monday through Friday, how he enters and exits, takes profits. Also, you'll have more research he's posting each week. Great way to say, a lot of students that have traders that are last few weeks.
So this is weird because I don't see what the expiration date is on these trades, and they don't actually look like executed trades. It just looks like a random person giving out trades that they may not be taking at all. There's no expiration here. There's no premium listed that you would actually receive by selling options. This information looks like it's worthless, and it looks like it's just self-reported garbage.
Monday through Friday, how he enters and exits, takes profits. Also, you'll have more research he's posting each week. Great way to say making 10K, they're making 20K a month. But this can be a great way to talk with people and see what's working. And regardless of the students are starting small, just building the confidence, or they're already, working with 6 figures or 7 figures, we want to help you build momentum and start scaling up. So, go with students, seeing what they're doing. But more importantly, of course, is that you do have Corey. Corey's here every day, transparent, fully accountable, and he'll be sharing actually everything he's done this year, last year, and the years before. So you see through the good times. And
that doesn't make any sense, because unless he lied in his core filings where he said that he didn't even have a trading account
at that time, it's been so safe and consistent. Any questions?
Does Corey offer like a one-on-one mentorship at the beginning?
So where most people start, obviously you can get more and as you progress. But this is kind of the main place where 99% of people start. Again, that's what we have to offer. We can definitely dive into this. So what this looks like, first of all, you're going to have lifetime access to all the education, everything through Z. You're also, most importantly, going to have share your screen, go over trade, and you're going to have that daily. So that's going to be a full year in the group.
So he does offer like a live training on.
And he goes live every single Monday and Thursday for like an hour, hour and a half. Yeah. And he trades and he talks with you. He goes over everything that's going on. And usually that. A few dozen people that are on the calls. Usually, again, for the full converter with coaching, it is an investment of a one-time 5K. Right, and that's for everything. Now, the cool thing is, because we are talking now, as Corey's mentioned, he had a bit of promotion, and we're just given all the success he's having the last year. Also, the students, I mean, most of them are making at least 10 to 20K a month, many much more, as you've probably seen. Right now, into that kind of full 5K, it's actually just a one-time 3K.
That's a lifetime membership?
That would be with the promotion, lifetime access to the educational videos, and 1 year in a group. If you wanted to upgrade to lifetime, that's just an additional 2.
So the yearly is 3K and then the lifetime is 5K.
Yeah, so with the promotions, that's what it would be. Yeah. So any questions on that? That shock at all with the price?
No, it seems reasonable. Now, do you guys offer like a monthly setup by any chance? Like,
yeah, 2K would be the absolute cut. It would be the absolute minimum to kind of get your foot in the door. And then, yeah, obviously, because if it's monthly, right, then you have like thousands of people and you don't really get much support. So it's just kind of the way we support smaller, more intimate support. So yeah, taking the money aside, but obviously it's a serious group. I mean, do you like the mentorship? Do you feel like this is kind of aligned with what you're looking for? That you make that first couple thousand?
I do.
Awesome. Yeah, and given our conversation, obviously, I mean, plenty of capital where even if you're taking this extremely conservative, using 10% of your portfolio, I mean, you should already be making, 3K a month. And obviously we want to get you to, 10K, 20K plus. So you're in a great spot, like most of our students within the first month. You're going to make that back and then you're in. And the bigger goal is scaling up to, again, the 10K, the 20K plus and continuing to grow. So
It seems like to me where this guy is being so aggressive, where he's almost guaranteeing the returns. He just told the prospective student that he's going to make that money back quickly.
this is pretty straightforward. We'd walk through everything together, create your account, get you the promotion, just get you all set up with Corey. Does that work?
Right, let me ask you a question. Does Corey show or have on the Discord like verified trading history?
Yeah, he shares every trade he's doing. He's done for a long time. So yeah, he shares everything. He's got a 92% win rate. He's trading with 7 figures. So at the end of the day, if you're gonna follow some of what he's doing, like if you lose $1,000, you probably lost like 20 grand. So at the end of the day, he's putting his money where his mouth is.
And is there somewhere where you can view his like trading statements?
His trading statements. I mean, he shares every trade he does live on Zoom. Yeah, and he posts them all in the chat.
Okay.
So yeah, is there anything that would be holding you back from wanting to get started?
I would have to think it a little bit more. I wanted to find out if there was some kind of like trial period you guys offered by any chance. Like you said, there's no monthly basis, but the minimum's a 1 year.
Yeah, typically 1 year. What would make no-brainer? What would make sense?
I guess just, trusting more of the process and being able to, the 1 year that, you're asking me to commit to is worth the while. Not so much of the money, but, the time and the mentorship. You're going to learn, you're going to have a primary strategy. And, being able to know that I would get the 3, 5, 7% returns on a monthly basis.
Conservative goals, much less than most of our students. It's like 100, 150K that you missed out on the last year. It's the easiest bull market we've seen in a very, very long time. So there's a lot of money on the table. At the end of the day, I've invested tens of thousands in my education doing this. And, if you only had 5K to your name, it doesn't make sense. But if you have a few hundred, at the end of the day, this is an investment in education to get mentorship, to see what he's doing and have an insurance policy. So again, it would be 3K for a year. If you really wanted to get something started, we can do something a little more custom, like just 6 months for 2K. That way you could get your foot in the door. And, assuming that everything's going well in that first 6 months, you can just upgrade for life. But yeah, that's pretty much what we could do. Would that make
Make it somewhat more easy, yeah.
Yeah. So it's usually kind of a no-brainer. It either makes sense or it doesn't. If you wanted to move forward, we'd create your account and get you connected with them. And then we will see you on the next coaching call tomorrow. We'd make, kind of besides the money, is there anything else that would hold you back from wanting to do this?
Everything sounds great. Everything sounds good. I've just been burned in the past and I've had some bad experiences. Let me do a little bit more research and get to know Corey as far as, watching his videos and his lives. I do like everything that you're saying. I do like the information that you've provided to me. But, let me just talk it over with my wife and see what she thinks as well. And she has been wanting me to, explore some mentorship and everything like that. So we kind of both make that decision. And I would like to get her input on this.
Yeah, feel free to talk it over with your wife. I'm married myself. I can understand that. So what we could do is we could definitely talk again. A lot of our students want 24 hours to discuss it, talk it over with the wife. I can understand that if you want, we could talk similar time tomorrow. Would that work?
Yeah, we can get back on the phone.
So what we would do is we like the same time as now. You're Eastern, so it's 12:30 works.
All right. Well, thanks for the information, Noah. I appreciate your time.
Absolutely. Bye. Take care.
Thanks, man. Take care.
So as you guys saw, this is the sales call. I'm sorry that the audio was so bad, but you can get a general feel for how the calls are being run, where the salesperson, in this case Noah Beggs, promotes Corey like he's an amazing guru who's been extremely successful, when in reality Corey was living at home with his parents at 40 years of age. He was $50,000 in debt with numerous civil judgments against him. I've also been told that he's in this country illegally. Yet Noah, the salesperson, presents Corey as someone who's uber successful with over $1 million and who also has a trading history dating back years. If you have any questions, then leave a comment below. Hopefully you found this call worthwhile despite the bad audio. And if you like this video, then watch the video that's popping up on your screen right now, because YouTube believes that you would enjoy it the most. Visit beststockstrategy.com and submit your email address to receive valuable free training. Please give this podcast a positive rating and review. If you have any questions, visit beststockstrategy.com and send me a message.